For today's cup of coffee, I tell you, it just keeps getting more and more strange, don't it?
It does.
It has just craziness, and we're recording this on 4/21/2024. And I think there's supposed to be a comet that's visible tonight.
What kind of comet?
It comes around every 71 years or something like that.
Okay.
Comets are another harbinger. And it's like, shit.
They are.
Yeah, those are not good things. I'm not going to be out looking for some of that either. I was trying to look and see. At first I thought, not going to say anything about it. And then I thought, I will say something about it. Because it's just been sort of another one of those brain-breaking few days. And it's like those few days are turning into days and weeks and months.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called, the comet, they're saying that it's called the Mother of Dragons. So that's interesting, especially since we're in the year of the dragon. Wood dragon at that.
Mm-hmm.
Wood fuels fires. That's what I always thought. And it's like, it's a wood dragon. Lovely. Lovely. And we've seen quite a few signs lately as far as fire. And... yeah. So this is actually, it's called the Pons-Brooks comet. 12P / Pons-Brooks. Who names these things? They used to have cool names for things that that's from a bygone era. And I did see that there was a sort of a surprise solar eruption that momentarily took the tail off the comet there a couple of days ago.
Really?
Which I thought was actually pretty cool. Let me see if I can find on that. And that was from livescience.com. And yeah. And it did say that it was a surprise coronal mass ejection.
A surprise coronal match.
Uh-huh.
So they had no inkling of that happening again.
Right. Because we've got quite a few people studying solar activity and stuff now, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But they ain't got it all figured out yet.
No.
But I thought that it was interesting that there for a minute it did snap the tail off the dragon.
Good. Maybe that's a good thing.
I think there's things that can be interpreted in many different ways.
Uh-huh.
And everything means something if you're looking for meaning. And looking for meaning is something that I do on a regular basis. And there is something that's called discernment. And this word, according to just Google search definition of discernment, is the ability to judge well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to have, it's like facts and then you do make judgments. This is not the same thing as judging individuals.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be situations, circumstances, different things like that. Even as far as the behavior of individuals, you have to be able to make some judgment.
You do.
And within certain circles, some of these words are going to mean something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And within Christian circles, as far as discernment, it was a matter of, and honestly, where two or three are gathered, there will be an argument. As far as to test the spirits to see if they're of God or not.
Mm-hmm.
Whether somebody said that's, if they say that they've got a word of prophecy, does that line up with scripture? And it doesn't have to stop right there.
Right.
And that's something that gift of discernment, and we tell people to pray for that. We do, because we all need it during this period of time. When somebody tells you something and you've got that gut feeling, it's like, something feels off.
Mm-hmm.
Go back, do a little bit of research, and see whether or not that person, what they said was valid.
Right.
Do that with us.
Yes.
That's why we would give you links and different things like that.
Yeah.
Before the you of two, but the they of them stopped doing that.
Yep.
I don't know when they're supposed to.
Validates.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
The validate stuff.
Yeah. Do your own research. We try to give you tools, food for thought, amusement, different things like encouragement. All these things is what this Podling cast is about. And it was interesting because over the weekend we did have another planetary alignment that was significant. And I know just enough about astrology to where, like I said, with the first 3 signs that I can, give somebody a personality profile, strengths and weaknesses, or challenges, if you want to call them, since they've renamed everything.
Yeah.
To sit there and go, okay, this is one of your strengths. This is going to be a challenge for you. Work on this.
Mm-hmm.
Worked really well when I was doing the mental health counseling thing.
Yes.
It was the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that occurred there last night. And so I was listening to be discerning as far as who you're getting spiritual advice from on any realm. Doesn't matter if it's astrology, if it's religion, whatever. That does not absolve you of doing your own work.
Right. It does not, and everybody needs to figure it out on their own to some extent. They do. Yeah.
But when you've got people that they are so biased, and everybody has biases. There's nothing that is human. There are things that you like, things that you don't like.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There are things, but when you become so zealous one way or another, that is going to cloud your judgment or your ability to see.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. That's the reason doctors are not supposed to operate on their family members. They're not impartial. They do have an emotional attachment to that individual, which can cloud their judgment.
Mm-hmm. It can.
It's not that they would ever do anything to harm their loved ones, but because it is their loved ones, they actually could be more prone to making mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. And this is why also, as far as not hiring family, well, there's quite a few people that do hire family members, but don't hire friends.
Yeah.
In a business, because that will it changes the dynamics. Because employee, friend, and it clouds that, and there's judgment that is, especially if you are the, employer. Mm-hmm. That's going to cause some problems right there.
Yeah.
So it's like, let your friends be friends and let your employees be employees. Healthy boundaries. But with some of the people that I was watching over the weekend and stuff, talking about the different conjunction, and it was hilarious because there was one person, it's like, oh, well, I'm not biased. And then the next few things that proceeded out of this individual's mouth were so polarized, and I'm thinking, you're not self-aware. And if somebody is not self-aware, it has clouded their understanding of the information.
Mm-hmm. It has.
We see this in media, all kinds of things. So just wanted to point that out. Mm-hmm. And something else that I have noticed that is very interesting. This has been going on for a while. Because from my understanding what they said, the energies, because you have the yin and the yang, the male, the female, different things like that.
Yes.
And Kid and I were discussing earlier, it's a matter of everybody has both male and female energies.
Yes. It's
energies.
The divine masculine and the divine feminine.
Yes. And that people have totally misunderstood on a lot of the divine feminine. Mm-hmm. That does not mean that you go out here and berate and try to subjugate men.
Right.
We've had a lot of women trying to do that for a while, and they have brought great harm.
They have.
That is not the purpose of the divine feminine. It is to heal, to nurture, to to love on somebody, to comfort.
Mm-hmm.
That's your mama bear energy right there.
Yes.
It is not that spirit of Jezebel to go out and do whatever and all these feminine wilds and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The energy has been wearying for me because I've got a lot of Virgo. I've got the Libra rising, and to see the amount of just flat out stupid,
Yeah.
I have a low tolerance for stupid. And the injustice.
Mm-hmm.
And people that's got their thumb on the scales. And has had for quite a while.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, this shift, and it may not be immediate. It's going to change. We don't know how it's going to manifest.
No.
But it's coming.
That's true.
And so, it's already been a bumpy ride.
It's been a rough one, and oh.
Well, and the thing is, it will be. A day is just a day. It's your perception whether that day is good or bad, according to circumstances, how you dealt with circumstances, all that.
I'm praying that this is a time for healing on all levels.
I hope so. But it was like Kid and I have some deep discussions here around the house. We really do. And as far as there's a lot of people that they pray for healing, they think that they want healing, but they don't. Because the affliction serves them more than the responsibility that they might have if they were whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was a man that Jesus asked him, it's like, would you be made whole? The man had choice.
Yes. Yes.
So,
and I think there is... God does send people to try to heal.
yes. Well, and it's one of those, and as far as blessed are the peacemakers. I get that. But sometimes the best thing that you can do is back off and pray that God will open somebody's heart, mind, eyes, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot force someone to want to be whole. No matter how much you want it for them, you can continue to pray. There was a story I heard. I think Mom had prayers for her, please. She's got some kind of crud. That this gentleman, he was just rough. I mean, we're talking criminal activity, drugs, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And that his mama never stopped praying for him.
Right.
Now, his mama died, but eventually he did turn his life over to Christ, and he did turn his life around.
Good.
While she was on this earth, she never got to see it. But that prayer was eventually answered.
But she was able to look up and, from her point of view, up
I'm
in
sure.
heaven and be like, yay.
Yeah. And this has been a period of time where we could look at ourselves, look at things, stumbling blocks, whatever it was, and be shown. It's like, hey, this is an area you need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just, for me, a lot of it was like back out of the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I did do that yesterday. I didn't really go deep in the rabbit hole today.
No, you didn't.
So I was just, I don't even know what I was doing, just sort of stumbling through.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the
And
spirit
that's
of
okay.
discernment, that's something that everybody needs right now.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
If you're
Everybody needs a spirit
biased,
of discernment.
at least recognize it and own up to it.
Right.
Be honest about it.
Yeah.
You know, and to sit there and go, yeah, I'm human. This is how I see it. I'm not willing to see it from the other side at this point. Maybe later, but not right now.
Mm-hmm.
And something that was fascinating, I listened to over 3 hours. That's what I did with most of my day. Joe Rogan interviewed Tucker Carlson. And it was fascinating. They talked about UFOs, governments, different things like that. It was just a really good listen. It's something to learn about both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
You over there, you very subdued right now.
I'm kind of out of it. Like I'm sort of in between worlds right now. I'm really struggling to stay grounded.
Are you?
Today?
You
Yeah.
didn't get to go out and hug the tree today. That had really helped you yesterday.
No,
it was
I need
cold and nasty.
And
here
I need
today.
to talk to I need to talk to a person today, and I
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's choice too. You don't have to. If God says it's
no,
sort of
I
like
feel it in my spirit that I
well,
have to.
Then you go and you do.
So I may
go and you do.
after this, I may have to go out to the car and make a quick phone call.
Okay, that's fine. You do
So-
what you got to do. Go where you're led.
Yeah.
But again, that discernment, make sure that that's what God is urging you and nudging you towards, not just something that self wants.
Right.
Yeah. Because he'll have you do some things that you're like, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. Mm-hmm. I ended up in places I never wanted to be. Lots of them. Still in a place I didn't exactly ever envision myself being.
Not where you wanted to be, but where God wanted you to be.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes.
And I was shown at a certain point, however, every bit of it, it was God's timing.
It was.
We've had lots of things that were like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not like you can live in that understanding and awareness, or at least maybe that's just me and my shortcoming, every day. Maybe some people can. I just usually, whatever happens, I've learned to roll with the flow and go, okay. And I don't get that upset about things the way that I used to.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's made my life a lot easier.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts, kid.
It's a strange time. Strange energy time. And the only thing really holding us together right now is prayer and God.
Yeah. Yeah, honey, we live in the Appalachian Mountains. That's how we have gotten through
For thousands of years.
Generations,
Yeah.
absolutely. Interesting. It's like our peoples was here before some of the other peoples that became our peoples was here, and they all lived together.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We are a different culture here in the mountains. We truly are.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't, they can just, we will share of ourselves to a certain degree, but other than that, it's like we're people that if you tell us we have to do something, we'll sit there and go, I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
All of us have oppositional defiant disorder.
It's true.
It's born and bred into us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it is. Why is that?
It's just how we're supposed to be.
Is that how we're built?
That is how we are built. Indeed.
Okay.
So,
okay.
If you've had experiences with the paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and that's there in the description box.
Mm-hmm. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Check her out on BitChute and Rumble at Warlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. And also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, at Warlanda, COCWS. It's like a radio station call sign. Yeah.
There's some cool people over there.
There's a lot of really cool people.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't subscribe to many of the huge whatevers.
Mm-hmm.
I like the individuals that I can actually talk with.
Yeah.
There was some gentleman that was over there in the UK that had taken pictures of some of the old doors. I mean, really old true craftsmanship doors, and some of the different ruins of the architecture, and very pleasant man to chat with online. Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Know that you are loved.
Mm-hmm.
Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.